with Prepare, academic esports as an inclusive and adapted educational approach. So if you can hear us, please feel free to take it away.
Thank you. First of all, I'm deeply grateful to be here today. Thank you to Tobias, Seth, and Cameron, and all the others for making this possible. And thank you all for listening, for caring, and for sharing your experiences in esports across so many different areas. It's, it's very interesting. And now, a warm hello from the southern part of Norway, and welcome to this presentation about my inclusion concept Prepare, academic esports as an inclusive and adapted educational approach. Now, to explain what Prepare really is and why I teach through esports, I'd like to take you on a little journey. A journey that includes a football player, my children, a glass of juice, a science presentation, refugees from Syria, and research for the future. And thank you for being my company today. Prepare target students in primary education and also adults who need to build foundational skills. The method connects curriculum goals to gameplay. It applies classroom principles, integrating theoretical learning with practical game-based experiments. Each session blends academic learning and social emotional development through shared meals, interactive lessons, gameplay, and physical activity. In short, we use games as a serious educational tool, and it works. I will get back to this. The concept is developed by me, a senior lecturer and founder of Prepared Pedagogikk, in collaboration with Lyngdal Municipality and the University of Agder. At University of Agder, Rune Andersen, senior lecturer at the eSport program, has an advisory role, and students from the program have participated as mentors and practice teachers. Prepare was one of the educational projects contributing to a national vision for esports at the Norwegian Esports Summit 2025 at University of Agder. That shows how important esports is in a lot of different fields. The document was actually handed over to the Norwegian government. We piloted Prepare at Lyngdal Secondary School in 2023-24, and it's now expanded to several schools. Recently, I ran a course for 40 teachers to inspire them to try game-based teaching. And now, here I am, nervous as a noob in the first tournament, but I hope my new English will be understandable. So let's do this together. I come from a small town on the southwest coast of Norway, Bryne. Some of you may have heard of another person from Bryne, Erling Haaland. Why do I mention Haaland? Two reasons. First, when I went to primary school, Erling's grandfather, Astor Haaland, was my principal. He was kind, safe, inspiring, and inclusive, and he made school a place I wanted to be. I loved learning and reading, but math, not so much. My math teacher often despaired when I solved problems in very creative ways. The answer was often right, the method not always by the book. Maybe that's why I ended up interested in alternative methods and adaptive teaching. The second reason I mention Haaland is because in some way we are similar. Now, before you laugh, I don't mean our football skills, even though I also played football for Bryne when I was young. But like him, I believe in teamwork, in practice, and in having big dreams, even if you come from a small town. He's playing for Manchester City, and I'm playing for Education City. In Norway, 16.2% of young adults between 20 and 29 years old is outside the workforce and studies. And in Agder region, where I now live, it's as high as 20%. One key reason is school
Sorry,
dropout.
Maj Elin, I don't want to interrupt you, but it looks like your slide is currently still on the first slide.
Oh, what's happening? Okay, can you see it
I'm
now?
not sure, but it just looks like the slides haven't been showing up. No, we can't.
Okay, do I
If you
need to
just
do
click through like that,
something?
it looks like that's working.
Okay, so I'll have it this way. Okay, and it's a bit echo in the sound as well. I don't hope you can hear this. Okay, let me try again. So, in Norway, 16.2% between 20 and 29 is outside the workforce and studies. And in the Agder region, where I now live, it's as high as 20%. One key reason is school dropout, often because of low motivation and poor adaptation to students' needs. Prepare offers a proactive, playful solution using esports to reconnect students with learning and mastery. Causes of school absence may include unsafe school environment, bullying, and loneliness. Poor relationships with teachers, anxiety and worry related to academic or social interactions, lack of tailored instruction, academic difficulties, and delayed identification of challenges such as reading, learning, and or language difficulties. It's crucial that these challenges are addressed promptly. Long-term absence often leads to social exclusion and serious consequences. Students experiencing extended periods of absence must be supported in their returning to school. They want to be included and they want to feel like meaningful members of society. A, a gradual reintegration process has often proven to yield positive results. The national standards for teaching to student radios states that there should be a maximum of 15 students per teacher in grades 1 to 4 and a maximum of 20 students per teacher in grades 5 to 10. Both students and teachers and school leaders express a clear desire for smaller groups. Prepare can offer smaller groups, thereby prompting a greater sense of security and increasing teacher follow-up. In addition, we can reach students who are unable to attend school physically by including them digitally via Discord, Teams, or other platforms. I usually don't call me a gamer, but I'm a former queen of winter games on Commodore 64. I have 4 children. They are now 27, 21, 22, and 9 years old. My oldest son, Mats, was an Easter gamer. To my frustration, His homework right after school habit changed into just one quick match online. Dinner got cold, and I sometimes threatened to turn off the internet. I became that mom. I was sure gaming was the enemy, even though he was doing good in school. Until one day he said, Mama, sit down and let me show you. He explained that he couldn't just leave the game. It would be like walking off the football field mid-match. So I sat down, he showed me how to play, and I started to understand. I must mention that his friends were kind of shocked of his poor performance. They didn't know it was me playing. Now, every time I visit him, I'm allowed to play a little Destiny 2, which is his favorite game. His friends now recognize when it's me playing. Apparently, my moves are different. Kaisa, my eldest daughter, she fixed everything in school. My youngest daughter, Emma, had a much harder time in school. Her siblings found school easy. She didn't. It broke her confidence, and honestly, it broke mine too. At home, I wasn't a teacher. I was just a frustrated mom with school books flying against the wall. That's when I started exploring new ways of learning, more fun, more engaging, and more about mastering than failure. This led me to a master's in NLP, and Emma later completed upper secondary school and now works at a high school as a support worker. She's doing really good in her job because of her own experiences. My youngest son, Theo, 9 years old, loves to play Minecraft with me. He's my teacher now, patient, clever, and proud. Playing with him reminds me why interaction, curiosity, and play are at the heart of learning. When I moved to Lyngdal from Bryne almost 5 years ago, I got a class of 31 students, maximum in Norwegian schools. They were all different. Some played games during lessons, some didn't show up, others vandalized the hallway. Of course, we have normal students, but it was kind of crazy. I told my principal, someone needs to create something new to reach these kids. And that someone turned out to be me. And that something became Prepare. After years of experimenting with teaching methods and a growing understanding that games build relationships and understanding. Prepare is a holistic concept, combining learning, gaming, and social development. Opening sessions focus on community and shared meals. Amazing conversation happen over a slice of bread or a piece of fruit. We also set the plan for today's class. We work in small groups, boys and girls groups. We start with an academic esports session, connecting curriculum goals to well-known and less-known games. Depending on curriculum, I choose or the students choose which game we play. We have used games such as Journey, Spent, Loneliness, and Passage to teach various subjects and topics. We also work with design and user experience, coding in Python, scripting and modding, simulate, simulation games, language, math, history, or science. We then move on to esports training session. Here we focus on teamwork, communication, and emotional control. We use games as Valorant, CS, Fortnite, and so on. Important subjects here is how do we handle losing or winning, or how do we speak online or to our team. When I first started testing the concept, some boys had competition of who got banned first. Then they understood. And this goes directly to Jess Hayburn's presentation. Students reflect and grow as teammates and as people. We end Prepare with physical training. We here focus on teamwork, health, both physically and mentally, rest and nutrition. Why? Because it's proved by research that physically and mentally health affect learning. Students attend between 3 to 6 hours per week from a few weeks to a full school year, and the results incredible. So this is a photo of a very special meal. One boy, a real hoodie, if you know what I mean, took 4 months before he finally sat down with us just to share a glass of juice. We had been working so hard to get him to do that and to speak with us. The look at the rest of the group's faces when he finally sat down, I will never forget. And the hoodie came off. He did not say much, but he was there, included. That day, we all celebrated like it was a championship win. Other students discovered technical skills, leadership abilities, and confidence they had never demonstrated in school before through their participation of Prepare. One student who had never had grades in subjects, he became our group's lead, helping others, managing accounts, and even handling the team's Instagram and LinkedIn pages. When he later had an oral science exam, he panicked until we structured it together. His focus became biometrics, 3D printing of body parts, and AI in healthcare, areas in which he had shown great interest and knowledge. He passed with almost top marks, and both his teacher and I cried. Now he's in high school pursuing esports. That's what Prepare does. It turns invisible kids into visible learners. So, where is Prepare now? The concept has proven that it strengthens school attendance, motivation, grades, and 21st century skills like communication, coding, critical thinking, and emotional resilience. It's expanding to new schools and involves local esports clubs, as I strongly believe in collaboration between sports and school, a combination that reinforces positive values for young people. And the big news, Prepare is among the initiatives currently being considered to receive up to 37 million Norwegian kroner in research funding through the Levekårsprogrammet, a 10-year national welfare initiative focusing on social inclusion and education. Prepare fits under the program's first priority, developing children's social and emotional competence in home, school, and leisure arenas. The research design will follow a randomized controlled trial methodology, and if approved for the main project, it will be implemented on a national scale with the potential to be tested in up to 100 schools across Norway. The research will consist of a pilot project and a main project. We truly hope this research will become a reality, as the Norwegian school system urgently needs innovative solution to address several pressing challenges. The main challenge now is to scale Prepare, adapting the method for full-class implementation using standard school laptops, finding games that meet Norwegian schools' requirement in terms of equipment, GDPR compliance, and the principle of free access is demanding, but I'm confident that we will find strong solutions. If others have relevant experience, I would be very interested in hearing from you. Our research team includes University of Agder, NTNU, and Norse Research, and I will co-lead the practical implementation. The research project, if funded, will start in April 2026 and run for 6 years. If results are strong, We hope Prepare will become part of the national curriculum in Norwegian schools. Fingers crossed. So future goals. Future goals include a digital learning platform, a teacher training module, a shared resource bank for educators. I also dream about developing a digital life map where students can chart their values, goals, and strengths, even those that can't be measured by grades. Imagine a CV of life and play, showing who they are and what they're capable of. Prepare aligns with the Norwegian Education Act, as well as the UN Sustainable Development Goals 3, 4, 8, and 10. Almost finished. Prepare also has a new partnership with Aftenskolen, a foundation focusing on adult education. Together, we are running a pilot project for Syrian refugees in Kristiansand, combining language training, digital skills development, and esports. The goal is to provide a fully adapted education in language and basic skills using esports as a tool. This group as well. Working with social inclusion is at the core of everything Prepare does. So this was Prepare, a concept built on the belief that everyone can learn. They just need the right tools, context, and people who believe in them. Thank you again, and sorry for messing things up with this presentation. If you would like to collaborate in any way, please be in touch, and let's keep playing for inclusion, for learning, and for the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maj Elin. That was a genuinely lovely presentation. And yeah, I don't think the issues got in the way too much. We still heard what you were talking about, and it was
Good.
really, really impactful. So thank you very, very much for sharing. We didn't have any questions in Twitch chat, unfortunately, but we did have a couple messages highlighting how impactful the research was. So yeah, thank you very much for presenting.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
We are going to cut to an intermission now while we get the next speaker in. So we'll see you after.